I belong to a religious community called the Society of Our Lady of the Holy Trinity. We're based in Corpus Christi in Texas. We are made up of priests, sisters, brothers and lay people, and we have missions in Mexico, Belize and Guatemala. About half of our membership are from the Philippines, and I feel right at home here in St. Sebastian's with so many Filipinos and Hispanics around. Now, if you'd like to learn more about my community, there's a little bit of paper at the back of the church. It's easy to find, and it's the website for my community. It explains how, if you ever felt motivated to do a gap year in the missions, etc. One of the spiritual rules of our society is that we do a holy hour every day. Holy hours have a very long and revered tradition in the church. The first clear instance of a holy hour was when Jesus asked Peter, James and John to accompany him in his agony in the Garden of Gethsemane on that first Holy Thursday. Now, doing a holy hour is simple enough. All we have to do is to turn off the phone, we turn off the television, we place ourselves in the presence of God, perhaps with the help of a crucifix or a holy picture, and we just give an hour to God with whatever favourite prayers we have. When Jesus of the Sacred Heart appeared to St. Margaret Mary Alacoque back in the 1600s, he asked us specifically that we would do a holy hour on Thursday evenings, again in solidarity with him in the agony in the garden. An ideal place to spend the holy hour is with Jesus here in the chapel in the tabernacle. In the tabernacle we have the hidden Jesus, as Saint Francesco of Martha called Jesus and his gift to us in the Blessed Sacrament. He is the hidden Jesus. One of the things that I strive for in my holy hour is to read a page of this particular book. It's called Benedictus, Day by Day with Pope Benedict XVI. Pope Benedict is perhaps one of the wisest popes that we've ever had in the last 2,000 years. I find his daily meditations for each day of the year very enriching. It's very deep, very inspiring, and it's something that I look forward to every day. I will say that you probably need a high school education to take it in, because he does speak in very deep terms and his language is somewhat advanced. Now, to get a copy of this, if you're interested, again, the information is on that little bit of paper that I mentioned at the back of the church. What I want to do today is to talk about one of the teachings of Pope Benedict that I got from this book, and it's this: if we are not aware of sin in our life, it is likely that we're not aware of the presence of God as we should. Let me repeat that. If we're not aware of sin in our life, it's likely that we are not aware of the presence of God in our life. This particular teaching is very clearly shown to us in today's gospel. Jesus directs Peter to a miraculous catch of fish, and in a moment of insight, Peter realizes that Jesus isn't just some rabbi or carpenter from Nazareth up north. He is holy. There is something of the presence of God in him. And when Peter comes to this realization, what's his response? Well, he says, "Depart from me, Lord, for I am a sinful man." Now, to see this in its proper light, Peter hasn't just committed some great and terrible mortal sin, nor is he any more sinful than anybody else around. Peter realizes, however, that he is lacking in holiness. He's inclined to sin and the fallen nature that all of us possess. And this is in very large contrast to the holiness of God and Jesus that he sees before him. The more we appreciate the holiness and the presence of God, the more we will appreciate our need for purification and confession. The point I'm coming to is that it is a very commendable practice for us as Catholics to go to confession at least once a month. Two things are at least important for this monthly confession to be of real spiritual value. The first thing is we need to understand what sin is and how it can be perhaps hidden in our life. Again, in this same little piece of paper at the back of the church, there is an excellent Catholic examination of conscience from the EWTN website. A second thing that is necessary for a good confession is to be able to see ourselves and our lives in the light of God's truth. Without the light of God's truth in our mind, then it's easy for us to be spiritually blind. Going back again to that little bit of paper at the back of the church, on the front side, there is a powerful prayer to the Holy Spirit, asking that God will shine his light in our mind. This is a prayer written by St. Augustine, who knew all about what it is to live in darkness and then come out, as it were, into the light. I'm so impressed by this prayer. I love what it asks for so much that I pray and meditate on this 4 times every day in my holy hour. So to sum up what I'd like to leave you with today, the closer we come to Jesus and the holiness of God, the more we will see sin in our life and our need for regular purification and confession.